Nobody knows why, nobody knows how, but one day the dead came back from hell and started walking the earth once more, and they were hungry. The world changed forever. The few remaining survivors hid in dingy camps, always on the run, always in fear. But then one man came along and built the silent crossbow. He brought mercy to the biters without any sound, so they could not find him. This man is called Daryl Dixon. He is here to guide you along. Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel. Want to join me on a fun little zombie hunt today? Yes, you guessed right. I have been commissioned by the makers of the official mobile game for The Walking Dead, No Man's Land. And I'm absolutely proud about that, because The Walking Dead is something that I dearly love. I always loved it. I bought the first comic books when they came out, years before the series started. And of course I watched every single episode and love every bit of it. So when they asked me, I was much honored and immediately said yes, even though I am under a lot of time pressure right now. The game is actually quite cool because it is different, much different to what I expected when they told me about it. Because it is really, it has a lot of elements of a strategical game. In fact, it is not tactical. It is more like slow-paced because you go out on missions and you always have 3 people with you that you can put together from a selection. And then you have to like pick up stuff, or you have to kill all the zombies around. And on these missions you have to plan your moves very carefully. And then it is played in rounds. So there is a biter round and then there's your round. And in your rounds every one of your players can either move or shoot or fight. So you can attack the zombies, but you can also flee. It's actually quite interesting and totally addictive. They recently released a new version. And in this new version, I think it's called 2.7, you also have cool new modes. Like you have a distance mode where you go on continuous missions and you can't heal in between. So it's just a question of how far you can get with the people that you have, because they don't heal. I think it's more for advanced players. I certainly haven't spent enough time to be that good. But I have a real account and maybe we run into each other playing the game. What I really love about the game is that all the familiar places like Terminus and the prison and everything shows up. So if you play it, then over time you will be able to get access to a lot of the heroes. So you can get Rick Grimes, you can get Michonne, you immediately have Daryl Dixon, who is kind of your leader. So everybody gets Daryl, which is a good thing, because Daryl knows his way around. And if you use the download link below and download the game for free, then you do this before the 30th of October, then you will get Negan for free. And I love Negan. He's actually my favorite character because he is the meanest, smartest, most badass guy in the entire series. Alright, as you know, I only take sponsored jobs on when there is some kind of a challenge in there for me. And this time the challenge was super easy and there's really not a lot of rules. This means build a totally silent crossbow. Well, crossbows are silent to begin with, but they may not be silent enough. I mean, the biters have good ears. And for them, like the twang of this could already be a veritable dinner bell. So let's find out how loud a crossbow like this one really is. And this is a recurve crossbow, and I guess the compound crossbows are a lot louder simply because the parts move faster. So this is already a fairly silent crossbow. I'm going to shoot it into the distance so that we won't hear the arrow hitting a target, but we will hear how loud the crossbow is. Cock it first, and then fire it. That was fairly loud, and I think a zombie could hear it. So what we want is the bang, but not the twang. Of course, there are many ways how you can silence this a little bit. So you can attach like rubber string stoppers and so on, but it won't make the device silent enough. I mean, we need to do something that nobody has ever done before, because otherwise it's not crazy enough for this channel. So my idea is to take an entire crossbow and put it in a box, completely shielded. So it sounds like it's shot from within another room. So the idea really is that, you know, you would put it in a box that is fully cushioned and actually pretty much airtight, except of course that the arrow needs to come out somewhere. And this of course won't be beautiful, and it won't be smart, and it won't be lightweight, but hopefully it works. Can we do it? I think we can. Let me show you what I came up with. Meet the world's first fully encapsulated crossbow. I call it the Stingray for obvious reasons. Let me show you its features. So as you see, it's a very boxy design. That is because actually in there the true crossbow is hidden and not visible at all. You know, you can see that there is a whisker biscuit in front, but that's pretty much the only opening into the entire system. I of course also had to detach the cocking action because, you know, you have no access to the string anymore. So there is a sled, and I use ropes here, little paracord ropes, that actually pull the sled up, and you see that there's only two tiny openings from here, and actually shielded several times more inside of here, to detach the entire cocking action from the mechanism of the bow. You can open the lid up to service the weapon inside, and here you can see how it's constructed. So this is the main crossbow. It's triggered by a piece of string that is attached to the handle here. So this trigger really only pulls on a piece of string. And you see this is the sled that cocks the main string. You see there is room for forward motion that will occur when the thing fires. And as you see, it is completely covered with this material, which is high-tech stuff used for cars. So you can see that there is a gooey, sticky, rubbery mass here and aluminum foil up here. And this is used in high-tech car applications to quiet body vibration. So yeah, and then you can close it again, and then it's completely shooting. Here you can also see that this here is actually a dead piece covered by the whisker biscuit, but this is the true muzzle of the gun, or of the crossbow. Yeah, otherwise I think it's pretty straightforward. Of course I also cushioned the outer part, so this is actually some foam material with some textile to prevent that this is a veritable drum that actually would accelerate or increase the audio level. So this is cushioned as well from the inside and from the outside. So in order to cock it, you put it down, put your foot into the stirrup like this, and then you pull up on this here. And actually you don't hear it clicking because it's so well shielded that you have to actually feel if it's cocked or not. And then the sled automatically returns, powered by a rubber band in the front. So now it's cocked. So now we muzzle load the arrow like this. It's so cute that it pokes out just a little bit. Alright, let's do the same distance shot again, but this time with a silenced crossbow. That was a lot more quiet. It really sounded like the shot came from another room. So I have decided that I want to use one of the scenes that I played through as a reference to check whether the crossbow would actually have worked. So here you can see the first shot, which is like a, I would say, good 15 meters shot. And actually it is only a body hit, so Daryl was not able to hit the head from that kind of distance. So we're using my trusted dirt bag as a body simulator. So we need to be able to hit this with a silenced crossbow from about 15 meters. Okay, here's our 15 meters distance, and I'm shooting standing up. I think that was a perfect hit. And silent. I think I couldn't have hit it any better. Alright, so the next scene we're looking at is actually from a shorter distance, but it's a perfect headshot and the zombie goes down immediately. So we need to simulate a zombie headshot, one of my most favorite things to do in life. And of course, if you know my channel, you know what's up next. It's this thing here, which is a coconut, fresh coconut. And then it's molten into some very tough, like 30% ballistic gelatin. I do it again just for you. Don't get wrong ideas. All right, this should be about 5 meters distance. My best guess of what it is in the original game. Victory! I think this kind of automatically answers the question, is this strong enough? We can. And it does taste like coconut. Ha! See, it's dripping out of the wound canal. Little snack. It's less bland if it's spiced with coconut milk. Can we even hit the coconut from 15 meters? Well, that's a tough shot, but I'll try, just for you. It worked. Actually, it did not work. As you see, it hit the gelatin block, but it didn't hit the coconut. So this zombie would still come after me in real life. It's amazing. I think the game is pretty realistic in this. Hard to hit a zombie brain from a distance like that with a weapon that only has a red dot sight without any amplification. The Stingray silenced crossbow. What do I think about it? Well, it is fairly efficient. Like on all silencers and suppressors, even those for firearms, it's not completely silent, but I think it is silent enough to really not attract any zombies. It's simply like a breaking twig or something. So it is effective, but it is also bulky, heavy, and ugly. Which, you know, beauty in a zombie apocalypse world is probably not that important. But portability and weight is. So I think this is a nice, cool little experiment, but I prefer my original shooters with the magazine and the fast reloading. Anyway, I hope you liked this episode, and the game, of course, and the weapon. Because that's it for today. Anyway, let's give this thing a mercy shot first. Hope you liked it. Thanks and bye-bye.